Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, for you guys, I don't know if I should say that this is for a beginner, those of you that are just started. But if you like to make a blanket or whatever you like to do with this kind of design, well, it's not difficult, but well, for you guys, the beginners might be an issue, until you get the hang of it. But this is, if you want this stitch to work, this stitch, I will suggest to use a bigger crochet hook than the yarn recommends. This is, the yarn, it's quite thick, and I did it with the 6.0 millimeter crochet hook, and still it's too dense. I think I would prefer to use, for example, this 7, you cannot see, but 7 I would prefer to use than, unless you want dense, but I will like with some holes in it. Well, with this stitch we're gonna chain even numbers. So we're gonna chain even numbers. What we're gonna do, we're gonna skip the first 2 chains. First and second. In the third, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna do a single crochet. And now we have 2 lines here, this one and this one. Now we're gonna go behind this line, so insert your hook behind that line, pull up a loop, and now move to the next chain. Insert your hook in there, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops. Grab the yarn and pass the yarn to the first 2 loops, and then grab the yarn and pass the yarn to the last 2. Now we have this line here. We have this one here and this one. So we're gonna go through this one behind that line. So insert your hook behind that line, pull up a loop, move to the next chain. Insert your hook there, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops. Grab the yarn and pass the yarn to the first 2, pass the yarn to the last 2. So this is gonna be the line that we will go underneath that, this one. Pick up a loop, move to the next chain, pick up a loop, 3 loops, pass the yarn to the first 2, pass the yarn to the last 2. And again, this is going to be the line that we're going to go behind. This one. Pick up a loop, go to the next chain, pick up a loop. You have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pass it through the first 2. Grab the yarn and pass it to the last 2. Yeah, you see, it's gonna make these lines here, but you're gonna kind of work a little bit tilted like this, the work. Otherwise it's gonna be really weird to do this. But if you like to do that, so insert your hook underneath that line, pick up a loop, move to the next chain, pick up a loop, 3 loops, grab the yarn and pass the yarn to the first 2, then the last 2. So again, this is the line that we're gonna go behind. So insert your hook there, pull up a loop, move to the next chain, pick up a loop. You have 3 loops, pass the yarn to the first 2, pass the yarn to the last 2. And again, this is the line, this one. Pick up a loop, go to the next and pick up a loop. I wanted to do it over. So pass the yarn to the first 2, the last 2. And again, this is the line that we have to go underneath. Pick up a loop, move to the next chain, pick up a loop, pass the yarn to the first 2, last 2, and so on. Pick up a loop, move to the next chain, pick up a loop. You have 3 loops, pass it to the first 2, last 2. So this is the line that we're gonna go behind. There, pick up a loop, move to the next chain, pick up a loop, 3 loops, pull through the first 2, last 2. And again, this is the line that we're gonna go. This one, pick up a loop, move to the last chain, pick up a loop, Do the same. And it's gonna look like this. I like that it has these lines. Okay, chain one, turn your work. And now the first stitch is here. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna do a single crochet. And now we have one line here and the second line here, this one. So we're gonna go behind this one. You go in there, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, 3 loops, pass the yarn to the first 2 loops, last 2. And this is the line that we're gonna go behind, this one. So go in there, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop. It's just 1 row repeat, that's it. And if you notice, it's really high, the row, the stitch. So if you work, for example, with making a blanket or a scarf or whatever, it's gonna go fast, and especially if the yarn is thick. Move to the next stitch. So this is the line that we're gonna go behind. Pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop. You can, if you want, maybe you would like to do 1 row, let's say, and then the next row you can do a single crochet only. Will look different, I think. Okay, so you're gonna go behind this line, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, pass the yarn to each 2 loops, and so on. It's very easy. Pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop. Well, if some of you know this stitch and this stitch exists somewhere, please do tell me the name and I will put the name. I don't know, I was playing with the yarn, I came up with this. I wanted to do something different, but I just can't figure out to have, let's say, this row with these lines, to have it all the time. It's just, no, I have to do a single crochet. I just can't figure out, maybe someday. Okay, so go through this line, behind that line, the stitches here, go in there, pick up a loop. Okay, again we go behind that line, pull up a loop, the last stitches here, go in there, pick up a loop, and do the same. Chain 1, and don't worry, because it looks a little bit kind of crooked here, you know, here. Don't worry about that. If you want, when we go the next row, it's gonna straighten out. And if you do this stitch at the end, the last row, maybe you want to put a single crochet row. So turn your work, and again we're gonna do the same. The first stitch is here, we're gonna go in there, do a single crochet, go behind this line, pull up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, pass the yarn to the first 2 loops, the last 2 loops, and this is the line that we're gonna go, this one here. So go behind that line, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, and again the line is right here, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, and so on. It's very easy. If you like to do only each row the same, that's fine. If not, you can alternate with half double crochet between this row and the next, and so on. Okay, so the line is right here, go behind that, pull up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, pass the yarn to the first 2 loops, the last 2. So please, if you know this stitch, it's good to have the same name. That way, when you search, will appear the same. but it's really nice and it goes fast because it's quite high, the stitch when we work. So go behind that line, pick up a loop, go to the next stitch, pick up a loop, pass the yarn to the first two, last two, and so on. Well, I will suggest you guys put the video on full screen, and that way you're gonna see it much closer in a way. So the stitch is right here, you go in there, pick up a loop, chain one, turn your work, and you do again the same thing. The first stitch is here, you go in there and do a single crochet, go behind, insert your hook behind this line, pick up a loop, move to the next, and so on. I'm gonna do this row and then I'm gonna stop. Well, you can give it a try. It's a very easy stitch. I don't think I should call it beginner stitch, maybe, I don't know, but some of you might be a little bit intimidated by which lines you should go behind. So you go behind this line, pull up a loop, next stitch. So this is the line, this one. So you go behind that. Yeah, so, well, you know, it's nice if you work this. I tried it, but I ripped it apart. I don't know why. I tried it with the 7mm crochet hook, and it gives you some holes in the work. So if you don't like so dense, maybe you should work with whatever yarn you have. Work with at least 2 numbers bigger. And that, I think, it's gonna give you those holes. So you go behind the line, pull up a loop, go into the stitch, go behind the line, pick up a loop. The last stitch is here, go in there, and do the same. And you chain one, and so on. You're gonna start with a single crochet, and this is it. It's very easy. Very well relaxing in a way. It doesn't require much concentration, I think. So you can do, it has like ridges. I don't know if you can see. Well, it has these ridges. I wanted to have all the front to have only with these lines here, the row, but no, I didn't want this row in on the face of the. It's just, I don't know, I have to work it somehow if I'm gonna do that. Yeah, but okay, well guys, give it a try. It's a nice stitch. You can just do this for a blanket, for a scarf, for a vest, you know, it's very easy. Yeah, okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.